The As Is podcast does not necessarily hold the views or opinions of our guests. The guests have a right to express their own thoughts, and those thoughts are protected with their freedom of speech. What they say is what they say, and we allow them the right to speak on their own behalf. The As Is podcast is not responsible nor liable for the opinions and stories of others. Welcome to another edition of the As Is podcast. Today's special guest is none other than singer extraordinaire, former death row artist, Danny Boy. Danny, you there?
Yes, sir. What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man.
Yes,
Hey.
sir. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. I did some more homework on you. We've done this show. We have something coming on television, and I decided to make you a focal point of this show. But as days go by, you know what? I don't know what it is, man, but like for the last couple of days since we filmed, I've been hearing a lot of Tupac songs. And I don't know. And I listen to satellite radio, and all of a sudden I keep hearing Tupac. And now every time I hear Tupac, it makes me wonder and have a question for you. So I want to get excuse me, I want to get the controversial shit out the way.
Okay.
You came out
Yep.
several years ago as being gay.
Yes, sir.
Tell us why.
Well, as I said before I came out, I was dating somebody, kind of like in a DL situation. They committed suicide, and it was in a very unfortunate way that I came out. After seeing comments and seeing things from people after trying to. The guy name was Anthony, and we called him Tony, but I made it look like I was talking about a girl with an I. And after receiving certain comments from certain people, I kind of just did it out of an emotion, so to say. It was my feeling, but I just did it because I had a lot of rude things that was said and rude feelings that was said. And anybody know me, you know that I'm more of a maverick. Like that if I believe it or if I say it, I'm going to stand behind it.
That's kind of deep, man. Let me ask you this. Since you've come out, has it been worth it?
I don't know. I can't say that it's worth it because I thought that, because what everybody say that the LGBT community is always getting things and they always blow up. I thought it was like some box that came with it that was going to have good credit and all that shit in it and the record and all of that shit. None of that came with it. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, it became more of a headache for me because of the death threats that I received and, different people saying different things to me, different family members turning their backs on me because of it. So, when it comes to things that kind of hit me the most as far as the family is concerned, that kind of hit me hard. For sure, it hurt. It disturbed, my family. It disturbed some friendships. But, at the end of the day, I gained being free. I gained being me. You know what I mean? The most people that was mostly important to me was my kids. Other than that, it really didn't matter. My mother and my father is deceased. And what anybody else think about me, really, it doesn't matter. If I could do it again, I probably would do it in a different way as far as how I did it.
How? Tell us how.
It wouldn't have been through social media and it wouldn't have been so abrupt. I would have prepared a couple of people because it was a big surprise to certain people. So I would have been a little more respectful in that way. But other than that, nothing would have changed as far as like what I've not said it. I'm me. And I lost some people, but I've learned over the years the people that I lost was never with me anyway. Because most people that I hang around, they really didn't do a lot of things that I did. Or we didn't have too much in common. But I accepted them for who they were. So if they couldn't do the same for me, it really don't matter. After you lose your mom and your daddy, man, it's like, who really cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who really care what other people think?
Yeah, I've experienced that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, in a way, I can kind of interpret what you said several different ways. But one of the things that caught me immediately was you thought that when you came out, it would come with
all of the fringe benefits.
Right. Are you
Yeah.
are you disappointed that it didn't?
Nah, I just did it so quick. Look at Lil Nas X. Look at Lil Nas X took my shit. Like I feel like, you know what I mean? Like there is a lane for it. There is, you know what I mean, and a lot of people against it, but you know that the LGBT community is winning. You know what I mean? And it's not just them. You know what I mean? Because I got straight homies that's winning. But I thought the perks and like, oh man, this is gonna work. Go ahead and be in you. But as far as in the music industry, I was already blackballed. Like, you know what I mean? I already felt blackballed, so to say. So it wasn't anything worse that they can do to me in the music industry.
So is it like what most people think? Because most people think that these people that are coming out gay now, and it's such a big topic, they're doing it for the perks. They're doing it because it's a plot twist, so to speak, and they can win. Do you think it's like a fad for people? Do you think they thought the same thing that you thought?
I guess I need to be a little more clear as well. I didn't only do it for the perks. I did it for me, but I did expect perks to come with it. Shit, they doing it, they winning. I want to be with the winning team as well. Because I represented and I knew the risk that I was already taking. I put a lot on the line for it. So for sure, when you put things on the line, you want something out of it. It wasn't just it wasn't here come on. It wasn't just a empty investment. You know what I mean? Like I said it. I wrote a book about it. I put those things in there and you know what I mean. It's just my story. It's the makeup of what it is, and I try not to change that. I'm real strong about it, man. So when I say the perks of it, yeah, you want the perks of it. I wish I could run into the people that's running the head offices because we know some of them run a lot of things that we trying to do as far as marketing and ads and promotions and different things like that. So for sure. But as far as it being a fad, I think a lot of people. I can't say that, you know what I mean, because there's still a lot of people that should come out and say something that
Why?
I believe.
Why is it so
Why?
important? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say as we discussed before, it's not really important, but we do know that in the black community, that's just not a thing we can sit around and talk about. Especially it's people that cut off their families and their friends. As I told you before, I got a brother that don't even talk to me. Like, but I talked to him when he was in jail. I talked to him and he went to jail for murder. You understand? My mother had heart attacks mostly all my life and strokes. And the only child I remember is going to the Cook County building for my brother. And I never judged him for that because my mother loved him. That was my brother. So I would walk him out. I remember walking in the snow going to visit him in Division 6. That's what love is. So I just didn't think that love should stop. And I'm glad that it kind of magnified the real people. It'll show you. My grandmother, like as I said to you, my grandmother had kids that got on drugs. They got on drugs, and I can't remember my grandmother ever saying my uncle can't come to the house. But she put the VCR up. She put the things that she thought that he was gonna steal. She took those things out of the way. She loved, and not only did she do that for her kids, she did that for other people' kids that was put out because they was on drugs or because they're problem. So I just don't think whatever it is, a lifestyle, a friend style, whatever it is, that's not why you cut a family member off or a friend off. And then you find out who you really some kin to. We just kin through blood, or we just kin through because we kinfolk.
Do you ever feel like you're a victim?
Yeah, am I a victim for sure?
How so?
Dude, have I been victimized? I mean, like I feel sometimes I sit and look at this music industry and see that, wow, that should have been me. Wow, I was doing that. That's the feel that I was doing. If you look back at this whole death row story, I did nothing wrong. I was a kid that left Chicago, that was left here with a dream of singing. I left there to sing, and I had an opportunity to sign to death row. And I was so grateful for that, and to be able to sing with Tupac, and and that who could not want that? That's amazing. But when the death row thing stopped, it's like as far as my musical career, where I was planning on going and my achievements that I wanted to achieve, I didn't get to those things. So sometimes, yeah, you feel like, wow, they got me.
But you know what? Let me play devil's advocate for a second. At the end of the day, sometimes we bring our own problems on ourselves. So, how do you respond to people who say, you should have just kept your mouth shut?
I mean, they wasn't messing with me before I came out.
Why?
I've been trying to. I mean, you know what I mean. They wouldn't give me a record deal. I had been in record deals and drove to different cities, and I put my feet in the mud. It's been over 25 years that I've been in the music, trying to get in the music business, not in it. We talking about right now. We're doing an interview about me doing a hook with Tupac.
Right.
When I have singing in me, I could sing a whole album. So as far as like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said nothing, that wouldn't have helped me. That don't. It doesn't make a difference. I feel, as I said before, I feel like I was already had after the demise of death row, I had already got the bad end of the stick.
Let me ask you a question, and I want you
Hmm.
to think about it. In my experience, and I can't speak for everyone, I could just say in my experience, I believe that God sometimes puts you in a position, and the position sometimes can be the driver or you can be the passenger. The problem with the person that's put in the position is they don't like to accept the position they're in. And what that means
Hmm.
is if you're the passenger
Uh-huh.
and you're driving in a Lamborghini or a Bentley or some type of exotic car, sometimes you want to be the driver. You want to floss and you want to front. But
Hmm.
that's not what God has in store for you. Now,
No doubt.
the parallel to what I'm saying for you is yes, we're talking about you singing a hook for Tupac 25 years later. But
Yes.
part of that reason is because I feel God made you a witness and he made you a
Wow.
witness
Thank you.
to greatness. And your
I receive that.
position might only be to recite what you've seen. Because understand
Yes, sir.
something, you cannot be a hero unless there's someone to tell the story. Someone has to be a witness. Fortunately for
I agree.
Tupac, the world was a witness, but you are a main type of a witness because you was right there. So I think people are going to come to you for your opinion and to recite those times and tell about the things that you've experienced. That may be strong enough to overshadow your voice. How do you feel about that?
Wow. I receive that, man. Like that is a piece of why I tell my story. Uh, and I can tell you, I guess to go back to why I say something about that lifestyle, or so to say, that's a part of my makeup. That's a part of my story. And I want to make it clear that I am so grateful, for the trip the journey that I've been on death row, and getting an opportunity to sing a hook with Pac. I don't take that for granted. As a lot of people did a song 25 years ago, nobody remember them.
Exactly.
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it to even be on a conversation talking about that. So even when I say it, I know that this is a part of my story. Do I feel upset that I didn't get a Grammy? Or yeah, I wanted a Grammy. I've always wanted a Grammy since I was little. I always wanted to sell millions of records of Danny Boy records since I was little. But if I have to just tell my story and sell a million books and sing with one person at a time, I'm so satisfied. That's the place I'm at right now. I'm
So,
satisfied where I am. I need more. I desire more and I want more. But the biggest goal is for me to tell my story because I'm a living witness of things.
you are.
It's things that I made it through, so I do understand that.
So are you accepting of the fact that you are a witness?
Oh, for sure. That's why I martyr myself as the preacher of R&B. When I talk to people, or when I'm singing, that's what I say. You know what I mean? It may not be, I feel God has a calling on my life, and it may not be at Mount Moriah Baptist Church, but I believe God is going to put me in position where, I'm able to help with my story. That's what our testimony is supposed to be about, helping the next person through it. Some of these things that I'm going through in my life, I hope I can tell another younger brother or sister how to get through those things so that they don't have to run into the walls that I've ran into.
You know what? I have another observation of talented people, not just in the R&B singers or entertainment, just in general. And when you have a light that shines extremely bright, there's always a dark side. And
Yeah.
sometimes that dark side is just as intense as the brightness.
Yes, it
So,
is.
what is your dark side?
My dark side. What is my dark side? Can you give me an example when you say that? Because I want to make sure that I answer that correctly.
Okay. Now, this is going to maybe piss some people off, and I want to see if you want to touch the topic. The
Okay.
best example that I can give you, because you come from Chicago and there's greatness in Chicago. So this is
Right.
not a blanket statement for Chicago residents. This is just in general.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, in my opinion, is one of the best R&B singers to ever touch a microphone. However,
Okay.
he comes with a dark side, or at least it's
Okay.
alleged that he comes with a dark side. And that dark side is what it is. Some people don't agree with it. Some people don't believe it. Some people feels he should rot in jail. So on one hand, some people may look at him as a pervert, but on the flip side of that, he's considered the greatest R&B singer to ever grace the stage.
Hmm.
That's what I mean by having a dark side to greatness. Do you
Wow.
identify with that?
I really can't. I guess the only dark side I could say is what I've presented to the world as far as who I am. If we call that a dark side for people, like you say, some people don't agree with it. But as far as me, I don't have a dark side or other side to me that I could point out or that I could say this is what I'm battling. I've uh, I've talked about what I've battled, and I'm telling the story to that.
And it's a hell of a story. And
Thank you.
it's a story that I don't know if people are going to be willing to accept 100%. I think there's progression in it, and I think that community is has made tremendous strides for progress
You want to
and
let him
for
straight?
people to be themselves. But I don't know if it's going to always be accepted. That's just I don't know. What do you think?
Well, a lot of people don't. It's I learned too. This is the ones that it has helping it, touch your wheel. You know what I mean?
You
But
you I can't
I
we can't
talk
hear you now, Danny boy. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. I'm not looking for acceptance anymore, any longer. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely not doing it for that. Like my desire is to make God happy and to please God in the every best way that I know possible. As far as my story and my plight, I hope to share. No, this baby girls that I hope to share with people and it help them as a testimony. But I'm not looking to impress anyone with it or get them to change their mind on it. It'll help who it'll help. It's almost like a sermon in church. Every sermon that you hear at church ain't for you.
Right,
So whoever it help, I pray that it help those that's needed.
right,
Because I've met a lot of people, a lot of young people, that family has turned their back because of this. That's walking around with HIV because they
right,
sold themselves to somebody for a place to sleep for the night when it could have been a conversation with their parent. Hey, this is what it is, and I still need to get in the house.
right,
But we're so as a black community. You know what I mean? We when we judge things, especially with our own people, we're the first people to close our people down.
right.
We're the first people to do it.
I agree with that 100%. But you know what? Let's move on to something to a different topic. Let's move on to the death row topic. Uh,
Yeah,
what was your relationship like with Suge?
uh, that's okay. I started out just as an artist,
Okay,
and then Suge later became my guardian after my mother passed,
okay,
and so I was like with him every day, all day.
right.
Like I always run with him in meetings, and I had an opportunity to hang under him.
Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
I've noticed that you have strong feelings about Suge and him being your mentor, somewhat of a mentor, or definitely taking
Yes,
care
sir.
of you. But on the other hand, uh, as far as business is concerned, do you believe that he did you right?
No, he didn't do me right.
Why?
He didn't do nobody right when it came to the music business, the people that he had. And we see that. That's the demise of Death Row. Snoop and all those guys would still be with him had he did right with the money that he was supposed to do with those guys. Pay them brothers right, whatever their problem is. I
Right,
just could speculate what I think is wrong with Snoop or what happened between them. But I just know what happened to me. There was times that I went from eating to times that I was seriously hungry
did you go
when I
to him?
shouldn't have been.
Did you go to
Yeah, I
him?
wrote him. You can't imagine the letters that I wrote him during that time
What did they
and went
say?
to see him. Man, I wrote notepads full of letters of he would always just, hey, I'm going through problems. I need help. And some of those things was just he'll write back and what to do, like give me you know just like codes of what to do when I really didn't know what to do. And at this time I was 17, 18 years old, trying to get royalties, listening to songs that I was on the radio but wasn't receiving anything from it.
Did you ask him what does you know what to do mean?
Yeah, when I went to see him, he'll give me, he'd blow smoke, like he'll make up things, and all right, so we gonna make sure that's handled. And when you leave from out of his sight, out of mind. And then he had idiots that was running the record company.
I noticed that you said that before. Who are the
Yeah.
idiots? I'll let you say
Mr.
it.
Lay's a, Mr. Lay's an idiot. Anybody else that ran it over there, Reggie Wright's an idiot. Anybody that was running that label that ran it in the ground.
You know you have a thing against Michelle A. Tell us why.
Mr. Lay sent me some documents, uh, account statements. Uh, Sent me some account statements after me asking, or sent account ledgers after asking for account statements. And in the ledgers, it just kind of highlighted different things. My birthday gift, uh, rent, Christmas gifts, which I understood. Okay, you get charged for what you get charged for with a label. Ready, boo? And when I seen my mother's funeral expense on there, that's what bothered me. And she had it highlighted.
So you mean to tell me they would give you gifts and then charge you back for them?
Oh yeah, yes sir. All my Christmas gifts I got charged back for.
Are you serious? Like, what did you
But
get
the
for?
thing is,
Excuse me. What did you get for Christmas?
like death row chains or Danny Boy chains and bracelets,
Really?
rings, gas was on there, oil,
Wow.
tires for the car, transmission fluid. I mean, you think of anything, it was on there. But she highlighted the things that she know would irritate me.
Why? Why didn't you guys get along?
I don't know because me and Miss Chalet was pretty cool.
What went wrong?
But I was said again.
What went wrong?
I don't know. She was a drunk at the time. We was cool, so maybe that was what was so cool about it.
She was a
So
drunk.
yeah, to me, and I guess to yeah, she was a drunk. So
Wow.
during those times, I guess when she didn't have all that power, people change when they get power.
How did she get the
She
power?
really should put it in her hand.
Why?
That was who he was with every week.
So they had a relationship.
Yeah, they had a relationship and they fake like they were married.
Wow. Didn't she have a child by Dre?
Yep.
Okay. So how was that not weird with Dre working with Suge and they both got the same mother of their children?
Yeah, I didn't know too much about Dre, but it was weird.
So what was that atmosphere like? Or have you ever been in the atmosphere with them three all in the same room?
No, never have. And when I was around, they didn't. It wasn't really out that Suge initially was messing around.
Also,
Only
so
those that knew it knew it.
so it's something like on the low.
Like a sneaky link.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What was the energy like with you and Tupac?
That was my homie. I wish I could call him a brother, but people say, "Oh, you only known him for so long," and the only reason why I call him a brother because I felt that, and that's what he treated me as. And you know, I'll be in the studio, and then when the girls come out and we all partying and stuff, when it gets too good, I gotta go to the room. He always tells Suge I should go in the room. DB too young, you need to go to his room. That's things that brothers do. He embraced me from the beginning of him getting out to the last time that I seen him. That's
When,
a brother to me.
when was the last time you seen him?
Last time I seen him was a toss it up video.
Okay. How did you feel when he got killed?
Wow, that hurt. Like like I said, he was like a brother. So, and I was there every step of the way. From the time that he went in the hospital.
You know what? Not to interrupt you, because I hear that you're doing your fatherly duties, and that's amazing
Yeah.
to me. But I have to ask you this: like, you're with your daughter right now, right?
Yes, I am.
Like, I wanted to get away from the gay thing, but it just, my mind is buzzing with it. How do you act towards your daughter? Are you manly? Does your daughter know? Like, tell me that relationship, because I know all people love their children, regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is. But since you're so open and you're like a loving father,
Honestly.
like, what is your relationship like with her?
Oh, that's my girl. And since day one, unfortunately, I had a niece that called herself telling my daughter and her mom before I even said something.
How did that work? What did your baby mama say?
Wow, she called me. She knew me. You know, she called me and she was like, "Oh, so you like boys?" I was like, "What you talking about?" And she said, "Answer the question." And I said, "What you mean?" And she said, "Yeah, okay." And I started crying. She said, "Oh, that's the answer." She said, "Okay, you could have told me." And she said that my niece had called wrote her on Facebook, and then called her, and my daughter was sitting right there. So they didn't give me the opportunity to really tell her.
So once they found out, how did you act?
So it was a painful thing because my daughter got problems from it during school time because people, because she would see people and people would say things to her.
What do you say
And
to her?
man, one thing now, I mean, she's 26,
Okay.
you know, so we like grew up with her. She know me. I've never really outside of that before that hid anything else outside of that. I just kind of think now she know everything about me.
So are you
You
with?
know,
It sounds like you're with a younger daughter. I thought you had a younger daughter, younger than 26.
no, I got a 26-year-old daughter, which I'm with now,
Okay.
and I have a 19-year-old son, and I have a 17-year-old son.
What is your relationship? What is your relationship like with your sons?
My middle son hate me.
What?
Uh, yeah, for sure, he hates me.
Why?
Um, that's an answer I've been praying about. I think the lifestyle may be it, but we've been estranged for about 8, 9 years.
And those are strong words. You say he hates you,
Yeah,
and I,
for sure.
and it's because you're gay.
Yeah, for sure. I think
So
I can't imagine anything else.
when you have a conversation with him, like tell us a conversation that you've had with him.
We don't.
What was the
We
last
don't.
conversation you had with him?
He asked me to keep my name out of his mouth. Keep his name out of my mouth. I'm sorry. That's what he said. Asked me to keep his name out of my mouth. Um, he's a grown ass man. Ain't no sense of me trying to be a daddy to him now. He's straight, and yeah, keep him and his mother name out of his mouth.
Danny, man, listen to where I'm coming from with this question. Excuse me. Is that not enough to make you see or make you feel like, hold up, I got to change? And even though I know you want to tell your story and you want to champion for your rights, but in my honest opinion, I feel that's selfish because you're going to worry about how you look to the world as opposed to worrying about how you look for your child. You don't think that's
What make you think?
selfish
What make you think I don't try to care how I look for him?
because you're gay.
So what that mean?
To him, obviously something. I'm not interpersonalizing
Right.
and saying
So
for
I know.
me
So I just want to know, like, let's say for instance, if that is it, what do we do? What would you do as a father? Let's say that I'm you. What do you do now?
I
Are you
mean,
saying go straight?
if it was going to hurt my son and I got to a point, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything to embarrass my children. I'm a strong
No, no.
supporter of family, and definitely
Me
my
too.
and I have 7 sons.
Yeah,
Understand
me
that,
too.
okay? Uh, I don't know if you can retract being gay, but I would.
Yeah, I don't either.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
don't know. To be honest, I don't know if you should try. To be honest,
for your son, come
I
on,
mean,
man.
I think you should try everything to be close to your kids. But like that question that you're saying is like, because especially since you're saying, and I know that you're a spiritual person, right?
Right?
For the Bible says what?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'll help you out. It says, honor thy mother and father in all thy ways,
It does. It
not
it
in some,
it does.
not in some.
I agree. But at the end of the day, respect and honor is a
Yeah.
reciprocal thing. It has to be
Yes, it is.
reciprocated by two people or the parties that are involved. And the same
Yep.
respect and honor that you would want your children to give to you, you have to give to them. So
It
sometimes
is the same. So let me ask you this. You just asked me about that 17-year-old that loved me. Why do you think he loved me?
because he's not as wise as the 19-year-old.
Come on, man. Staheen is wise. Come on.
I
He
mean,
might be a little wiser, actually.
and I'm not saying it to, here's why I'm saying it to you. And I want you to understand my mentality and
Okay,
why I'm
cool.
saying it the
Try to do
way.
a little more.
The reason why
Hmm.
I'm saying it that way is because in the streets and these kids today, they live under a lot of peer pressure. You
Right.
understand? So I would assume that your son that's 19 is more experienced in the streets. And I'm not saying he's in the hood or wherever, but he's more experienced worldly with his peers than the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old is probably not doing what the 19-year-old is doing. His
Exactly.
ears aren't as hard as the 19-year-olds. He may be a little more subdued. You know, his ears may be a little more delicate. So he doesn't. I don't know if this is the case. I'm just giving a wild
I'm
guess.
just saying. So you think a 17-year-old couldn't explain how they feel versus a 19-year-old?
I don't think the understanding would be the same for the two.
I think that's an oxymoron. What you just said, 19 and 17. Yeah, we know there's a difference, but
Uh
it's
huh.
2 years difference. And a 17-year-old
You know.
wouldn't know enough in this world.
You know what? You know what? I'm not going to speak
In
on
this world,
in
I'm just
this.
saying in this world.
But listen,
How old is your youngest?
my youngest is Jameer is. If I say this wrong, he's gonna kill me.
Oh, that's okay.
20. I got
Okay.
7 sons, man. As far as
Okay.
you, as far as let me just say this real quick. I love my kids to death. I do anything for my kids, but I'm the worst person to remember birth dates and numbers. Anytime there's
Okay. You ready for this? Now
children,
that's bad.
it is.
You wrong.
I am.
You're gonna go to hell because you don't remember your kid's birthday.
Oh well, I'm gonna burn up.
Never. That's you. You understand?
I get
And I'm
you.
glad you made that comment. I'm not saying it's the same and we don't want to base it as the same. But it's to me, that's the same thing that you're saying. Just because I don't know my kid's birthday don't mean I don't love them.
No, I'm not. No, no, no. I'm
You,
not saying that. I'm not placing fault on you at all.
no. I just want to know. I'm just saying for the person that think that
Oh yeah, I get it.
you
I
know what I
get.
mean? My 17-year-old knew before he was 17. Come on, boo, you ready? Let's get up. Uh, he
I
knew
get.
before he was 17.
I get it, and I understand what you're saying. What I'm just saying is that sometimes, and because my youngest isn't as worldly at 20 as his next brother that's 24. You
I
understand what I'm
know.
saying? Like he doesn't. They're 4 years apart, but it's almost like 40 years. My baby son is in college. He's a straight A student. He doesn't know
Hmm.
anything about the streets. You know, I'm a felon, a convict. I've been in the streets all my life. I did everything in my power, along with his mother, to make sure he never had to experience any of that. So a lot of times he's blind to shit. He just doesn't know. Now, on the other hand, I have another son who knows everything that I know.
Wait, stay here for a minute. Go ahead.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so,
Hmm.
so that's why I'm saying that. And my question to you is, for me as a father, if it was something that affected my child that much, I would have to sit down and look at my behavior and my actions and ask myself, what could I do to change my son's feelings? Simply because they're more important than me.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, if you don't have to agree, and it's not an attack.
You must got all 7 kids. No, I got it. You must got all. They must have all same parents.
You know
We,
what? I'm gonna give you another flaw. I have 5 baby mamas.
okay, so same here, right? So that's a good point. Depends on who else raised them.
Right,
Depends on who's in their life.
right,
And I ain't gonna blame it on his mama, but
right,
it depends on who in their life.
right,
My son just wasn't. My little son wasn't raised to 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 even think about hating his daddy.
right,
He wouldn't be allowed to.
right,
My daughter wasn't raised like that. Not
right,
just through me. That's not in her genes.
right.
Okay. So for him, there's two sides, and me and Miles was just talking about that earlier. There's two sides to the genes.
Okay.
One boy gonna be though that other boy may be a little more like you than he is his mama.
Exactly. I get it.
So if his mama is hateful, he gonna be hateful.
Also, what you're saying is you can account that to his mama, and maybe his mama brainwashed him.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
so. That's the only thing, because I know my mama would have been like, get on the phone with your daddy
Right.
and tell him why you hate him.
Right.
Because a lot of kids go through not liking their parents.
I have a son that I bump heads with because he's exactly like me. And because we're so much alike that we always bump heads. And a lot of times I refrain from really dealing with him because my attitude and his attitude don't mix. And I'm the kind of parent that if you raise your voice or you lift up like you're getting ready to do something, I'm going to kill your ass, especially for
Right.
my sons. So for
And
me,
and I should tell you, maybe I'm assuming this because this one that I'm talking about, it could be him being just like me as far as strong in what he believes and he it might just be me. He might just be that person. It might
Right.
not have nothing to do with I think.
Right.
I can only assume because he hasn't told me.
Right.
And if that was what it is, I hope I could have a conversation or he'll know who I am. Yep.
As far as the son that you have that might have a hateful mother, uh, you say you have several baby mothers, correct?
I do.
For the sons that you do have, I mean, I'm going to ask a rhetorical question, I imagine, but I'm going to ask anyway. And how would you feel if one of them came out and said they were gay?
Wow, I feel bad for him because of the world, the way that we be thinking. But
Well,
I'm gonna love on him regardless.
as I think any parent would,
Yeah.
even the macho. I've said before, I would disown one of my children if they were gay. I'm not gonna lie, but in my heart, I already know I can't turn my back on my kids, regardless to whatever, because they're my sons,
Well,
and I'm gonna have to deal with whatever I'm gonna have to deal with.
well,
Uh,
I'm glad to share that story with you about some of these kids that's in the streets. Uh, because of people that put them out. You know what I mean? And hopefully, as I was saying before, because there's a lot of fathers that think like that, and parents and mothers that think like that. Hopefully, I can share something with you like that that'll say regardless. And you don't know what you'll accept when it comes to your kids.
I'll accept anything with my children.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. So
I mean, but
they mind,
that's in my heart.
they mind from my heart. You hear me?
And I feel you from my heart.
I for the son that don't like, for the one that I feel that don't like me, I love him. He's my son. He's
what
my son, irregardless.
what about his mother?
What about her?
How do you feel about her?
Wrong choice. I feel I made a bad decision.
How so?
Uh, just bad decision, man. So hateful. So hateful.
I mean, can you give me an example of what you call hateful?
I mean, man, this one I'm going through right now. I don't have that problem with. I didn't have that problem with the other two. They love me. You hear me?
So let me ask you this: do you ever have situations? Because sometimes this happens with men and women, especially with baby daddies and baby mamas, that there's still a sexual relationship, or it can be a sexual relationship. Has that ever happened with you and your baby mamas?
Like what?
A sexual relationship since you've come out?
Nah, they're my sisters, man. They're my sisters.
So you turned your baby mamas into sisters.
No, it's like you kind of grow into that when you grown. When y'all not with each other. I don't know how you grow into sisters. That's yours, mom. I gave you one. Yeah. You kind of grow into that. It ain't that I want it to be that. When I say sisters, like, regardless of anything, they love me. I love them.
Right. I get it.
I love them.
I mean, it's for me. This is a traumatizing conversation, and the reason why I say this is because I just still got my mind is racing with so many scenarios and how it will be handled and whatever, and then I don't know. It's just kind of weird for me, but I'm learning and it's understanding because there was a time that I would just, I was anti that lifestyle. But I guess with time and because it's kind of like thrown in your face all the time, it starts to break you down somewhat. So I'll give you a good example. One of my favorite shows on TV is Power. One of the things I hate about Power is every time they have the gay scene with a basketball player and the college team,
She had water. I'm sorry.
it's like I have to turn my head. How do you feel about how America seems to be pushing that narrative right now?
That ain't it. I think the narrative being pushed too strong when it comes to TV and different things like that. I'm not saying hide it, but we don't have to put it in everything. Just like, my mother and my father didn't share their relationship with me.
Right,
Everything about their relationship with me. You know what I mean?
right,
So it shouldn't be on TV just like blatantly on TV because there are people that is against it.
right,
You know what I mean? So just because you're against it, like I believe I could be a great friend of you. You don't have to judge me for who I am, but that also don't mean that I'm gonna invite you, to events or put on things on TV that's gonna make you feel uncomfortable either.
right. And that's kind
So
of
it's a
like
risk.
I have this kind of feeling like at the end of the day, like one of the best songs. I love Tupac. You know what I mean? Like I can relate to Tupac, and definitely I ain't mad at you. Is something that I hold as one of my all time favorites. So listening to the song, when you're listening to a song or you watching TV or whatever, I'm really not into who you fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't think that that's important if I'm listening and I like the music. But when you put it in my face, it can kind of turn me a different way. Like, you ever listen to a song and you find out 6 months later that the girl was singing to another girl and it kind of like changes the whole way you like the song now?
Okay, you said the last part you broke up.
Like, have you ever listened to a song and you find out that the girl is singing to another girl and it kind of takes away the feeling that you have for the song before you found out she was singing to another woman?
Yeah, you ever felt like that when you listen to Luther Vandross?
You know what? Don't say that. That's a great example though. That is an excellent example. But you know what? Because it's Luther, and I know this is going to sound like a contradiction, but it just is what it is. Because it's Luther, you kind of give him a pass. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
sometimes you get a pass, and I think
Most black people do.
it.
Most black people do. We give a pass. Like you said, you gave a pass because of Luther. My brother would probably give me a pass if I had $1,000,000. You think
Right,
it'll matter my lifestyle if I had money
right,
to my family?
right,
It don't matter. To the ones that don't just like me, they won't like me.
right,
But even money fix things with our people,
right.
and it's sad.
It's true though.
Like we give people a pass who we want to. Let's let Luther buy with it. But Danny Boy's going straight to hell. But you're gonna play Luther Vandross song at your wedding.
Because there's a difference between Danny Boy and Luther. Kind of Luther was the kind of dude that you could see that he was fruity. Like that's
Right.
you could kind of tell.
Oh, so it's
But
better when you can see it versus a person telling you. Because we still not clear on Luther yet, are we? So we can accept somebody never say nothing versus somebody to tell you the truth.
you know what? Here's the biggest difference. You're right, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm gonna say just what it is. Luther has never come out and said I'm gay, so you can
Right.
you can a person could be suspect, and you can suspect a person of being a certain way,
What's
but
his name? Wop Boy Baloo Bow, Wop Bam Boom. Who
we
that
all
man
knew
name?
we all
He
knew
never
that,
came out neither, did he?
but we all
It's
knew
not
that,
what you
we
Little
all
Richard. But
we
you
all
ready for
knew
this?
that.
In that time with Little Richard and Luther Vandross, well, if they'd have did it, it was times they'd have got killed.
Probably
We
so,
not in that. We not in that world no more. I guarantee you, if Luther was living today.
but we are, and I'm gonna tell you why we are. Because let me just tell you, I'm just gonna be straight to the point. You were singing background for Tupac. Tupac is one of the most award-winning, idolistic type of rappers to ever live, and he was
Okay.
definitely on some thug shit. It
Right.
just don't match. So
I don't know
that's
why I
why.
don't match because I don't know why I don't match because I'm still a thug. I don't know why I don't match.
So you
I
like
be waiting for
Omar?
people to run up. I'll be waiting for people to run up because they think that and they think it's that sweet. It's more sour patch than anything. Salty on the outside, sweet on the inside. So that don't make me not no thug. And I know some guys that'll whoop a straight man up.
I seen it in jail, so I agree with you.
Did you hear me? So a lot of people think it's because of that. That's us that think like that. Until somebody like me put hands on you. That don't mean I'm the toughest person. That don't mean nothing. But I'm still the same when I was with Death Row.
But you don't think being gay is effeminate?
Yeah. So are some of your homies. So are some of your homies feminine. Most of the guys you hang out with got feminine ways.
I disagree.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Like,
sorry. You must like what? You want me to give you an example?
give me one.
You ain't got no homie that bite fingernails.
Bites fingernails?
Bite his fingernails, sir.
At my age, I don't hang around niggas that bite fingernails.
I ain't saying. I'm saying you understand what I'm saying.
I
Though I'm
get
sure
you.
some of you. Yeah, okay. I'm
So,
just saying it's in us.
so you saying
Sorry.
biting fingernails is feminine?
I'm just saying certain things is feminine for a man to do.
Tell me some.
Period.
Tell me some.
I just gave you one.
Give me another.
Some people say some real man, truck driving man, gonna tell you not a man because you went and got a manicure, and he just don't realize that he was raised nasty. Just the way our people think. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Oh, he got his hands painted. They clear nails on there. That's gay. Come for real?
Let me give you a jail mentality. Let me tell you a jail mentality, and you tell me if you agree with this, and you tell me how true it is. A lot of dudes in jail now, today, they don't look as gay as being gay if they're the ones that's giving it. If you're receiving it, you're gay. If you're giving
Okay.
it, you're not. How do you
I didn't
feel
know that
about
then.
that?
Well,
That's
I
a
didn't know.
jail mentality.
I guess I ain't gay then.
So you say you not the bottom.
No, sir. No, that ain't me.
So how do you think you gonna make people feel at the bottoms?
That ain't. It's not a bad thing because obviously that's what I like.
So you kind of
But if
like
that's what they're saying,
you remind me of a dude that a woman would say a nigga stick his dick in anything.
no, that's most dudes do though. They just won't tell you, and that don't mean with a guy.
I mean, I get that to a point.
Well, some of them fat nasty ass girls and people ugly ass motherfuckers they talking to, they might as well go ahead and mess with a guy.
Wow, wow, that's a deep one. That's a
Sorry.
I,
I
I,
mean, I be looking at some homies girls and be like, oh man, that's what you like. You don't want like anything. Because when I was messing with them, they was bad.
what do you define as bad?
Like look good, pretty.
So you saying
We know
that?
what that is.
So you saying a heavy girl can't be good, look good, and be
I
pretty?
didn't say that. I
I'm
didn't say that.
asking. I'm
No,
asking.
sir.
You
Yeah, I
kind of
like them
said
too.
that.
No, I didn't. Let's get that straight, y'all. I ain't say that. Don't be listening.
Okay. Well, let's make it clear.
I was making an example like
Okay.
ugly and fat. Just ones that you be like, what is that?
But
And you
this
with that, and you got nerve enough to judge me. That's what I'm talking about. That can be skinny, fat, thick, one leg, one eye. It don't matter.
right. So you saying there's a criteria for beauty?
For me, it is not even a criteria. I mean, for me, like everybody with their desire, and that's what they want.
Right.
And I've done pretty good as far as the ladies I've talked to, and I do damn good. And as far as the guy I'm with, so I'm pretty good at picking, beauty for me, for what's beautiful in my eyes.
Right. Do you think that that's that? I mean, when people pick their mates, I think sometimes a mate can grow on you, or a person can be with you because of a person
I'm
being
sure I grew on some people.
because of a person being who they're with at that time doesn't mean that's how they started out with. And I'll give you an example. You can have a what you consider a dime in 1990. In
Yeah,
2015, she might
she
be,
a dub,
you know what I mean? Like time takes a toll. Like she could have got
like
heavy.
me, like me, man. I'm not saying that's why I say don't ride on that. What I said like that.
Right.
That wasn't for that. I'm bigger than I was in '96.
Right.
I'm just talking about people be with monsters
Right.
and judging you for who you with.
Right.
They be with monsters.
I mean, I get it. I get it. But let's go back into Death Row. So you say Michelle A messed up Death Row. In
I think she
addition,
did.
in addition to Suge's business practices, what's your relationship like with Suge right now?
He cool now.
Do you think it's because he's in jail, or you think it's genuine?
Yeah. Well, and most everybody that go to jail who answer the phone, they be cool with you.
So
Cause
you
you answer the phone. I wish he used to answer the phone when we was calling them and needed them.
have you ever told him that?
Yeah.
And what does he say?
And he want to throw it off. He like throw you sidebar conversations.
You know what? He just came out recently and he said something about Jay Z being inside of L.A. and he got robbed and taped up or something like that. It was an old tweet and it just resurfaced. How true do you think that is?
I don't know, man. Don't have me talk about Jay-Z. I don't believe it ain't. If I did, I wouldn't say it.
Why? You scared of Jay Z?
Why? No, not at all. I ain't scared of nobody you know.
Okay, so then why would you
And
say
especially Jay-Z.
it?
So let's get that straight.
Wait a minute. Whoa. So you sound like you know something about Jay Z that we don't.
No, I'm just saying, like you said, not like I'm not scared of him. I'm like, we know he's powerful, but I'm not scared of him.
Right.
I hang with powerful guys too.
So do you think that it's possible that he could have got taped up and robbed in L.A.?
Man, it's a lot of guys got taped up and robbed in L.A.
Name one.
That ain't. I don't know them. And gonna get that one thing you will say. You can say what you want about Danny, but I ain't that
you ain't gonna tell on nobody,
No,
huh?
I ain't on that sissy shit.
Wait a minute, you can't say that sissy shit. You
Oh, I
gay.
can't. I can't. I just be funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but how does that community feel about that? How do gay people feel when they hear the word sissy or faggot?
It depends on who said and how you say it.
Well, I mean, you just said it. You're gay. Can you say faggot or sissy? Well,
No,
obviously you can because you just did.
I said, but like if I was around a crowd of people, I try to respect people, and then people be like, you can't say them because I'm new at it too.
What you mean you knew at it?
Like I don't know what to say. I might say the wrong thing sometimes.
And when you do, if you do, what happens? Do people
Ain't nothing
check you?
happened. No, we're not doing that. One of my people will tell me like, no, that ain't nice.
Right.
We're like, oops, my bad.
So what is the usual crowd you hang with? Straight guys, gay guys, what?
I hang with everybody, man. I hang with morticians, preachers, teachers, doctors, criminals. I hang with everybody.
Well, I do know you got a criminal past, or you hang with
Yeah.
criminal people in Chicago. I know that, but
So
I'm not dissing them because they my mans too. So
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the
I hang
day,
with everybody, man.
but
My daddy taught me that when I was little.
I mean, that's what's up, man. You know what, man? It's just I don't know. I still got so many unanswered questions, and it's just what I'm going through a learning process, and as you get older, you learn, and you're more accepting of things, and
Hmm.
I'm sure there's going to be a million more questions in my head, like, damn, I should have asked him this, or damn, I should have asked him that. But for whatever I've missed, if you was to give yourself a brief synopsis of your life, what would it be?
Wow. Uh, wow. Brief synopsis of my life. Danny Boy, the singer, author, chef.
That's right, you are a
From the
chef, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk about your
Yes, sir.
restaurant real quick. I almost forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh, Danny Boys is the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
I was named after a record
Okay.
by Jackie Wilson
Okay.
called "Oh Danny Boy."
Is that Elvis sang that too, right?
Yeah, Elvis did. There's several renditions of it.
Okay.
My mother liked, in particularly, the Jackie Wilson song,
Okay.
and that's what I was named after. Of. And this is my fourth restaurant that I've had, and the other ones was named after something else. And I named this one after myself. Oh Danny Boys is what it's called. On the west side of Chicago, starving artists feeding starving people.
What is the theme of it?
Well, I sell food and I pay homage to the people that I've had either a chance to work with or legendary people in my life or that we know of,
Can
such
you
as I have
name?
a
Yeah.
Tupac burger.
Okay.
I got a Biggie burger,
You worked with
and I got a
Biggie?
heavy.
Wait, hold
Say
on.
it again.
Did you work with Biggie?
No, I never worked with Biggie. I smoked with him, never worked with him.
You smoked with him. What was that like?
Yeah. Huh?
What was that like?
Oh, that was incredible, man. I didn't know who he was. Yeah, that was previous to Tupac.
Really?
Yeah.
So was he
I
cool?
mean,
Was he like was
very
he
cool, man. I didn't know who that dude was. He's walking down the hallway, writing, I see some ladies tonight. This should be having my day, man. He was working on the song.
okay.
I had headphones on. I got off the elevator with some weed. When I got off, he was like, man, where can I get some smoke at? Something. And I didn't know where to get none. We went on the roof of the hotel and smoked upstairs. He smoked all my weed up with.
Did he? By
And man, he
himself?
smoked all me and him.
Wow.
He wanted to keep smoking.
Wow.
Yeah, so we smoked them big Phillies, them big old school Phillies.
Uh-huh.
We smoking them, and I ain't had no more weed in my bag when I went downstairs.
And you didn't know who he was.
Didn't know who he was at all.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, who's next?
What?
You said Danny. You
Oh,
said the
so the
Tupac
Biggie
burger,
burger.
the Biggie burger, the Tupac
I got a
what?
heavy the Tupac. I have a Tupac burger and a Biggie burger.
Okay, and the Heavy D what?
And I got a heavy D burger as well.
Okay, tell us about Heavy D.
Heavy D is that's the homie, man. I love Heavy D. That was my homie. Uh, but the heavy D burger, the difference between those Tupac burgers, two patties with our fixings and a fried egg.
Okay, so
And go
what
ahead.
what makes Heavy D's burger different?
It's heavy D burgers, four patties
Oh, okay,
with a fried onion ring. So we just add more meat. That's it.
okay. What kind of
And
person was Heavy D?
man, real sweet guy, man. Like very supportive. I just remember staying in the La Montrose Hotel and Heavy D every time he came in town. Like just he was one of the brothers that was always a good dude, good home, good down home dude.
Right,
Never act like who he was.
right. Okay, who's next?
Um, I also got some Anita Baker beans.
Oh, what was Anita like?
I don't know her neither. I've only seen her in concert, but I just paid. You know, there was a restaurant in L.A. called Larry Parker's,
Okay.
and Larry Parker's, if you would a celebrity or kind of known a little bit, they will put the name of your they put on the wall. Like I had Danny Boy Spaghetti,
Okay.
and you know different artists that would come in there. Stevie Wonder, everybody got a meal named after them.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I draw that from.
Okay.
So I got Anita Baker beans. I got some Al greens. Ain't nothing but mustard and turnip greens.
So did you know Al Green?
No, I did not. No.
Okay. And it's no
Uh,
type of association, just paying homage.
yeah, no type, just paying homage. You know, I got a Twister taco.
Okay. And
I
I'm
worked
sure
with
you
Twister.
know. Yeah, I'm sure you know Twister.
Yeah, I've worked with Twister. Done some incredible records with Twister.
Okay.
And I got a Twister taco. That's just like that taco you make at the crib with ground beef. And it's a pastrami topped with pastrami meat.
What is Twister like?
He's a good brother, man. From what I remember recording with him, never had an opportunity to perform any of those hits that we did together, but he's always been pleasant.
You know, Chicago is the home to a lot of artists, and Twister is definitely one of them. A controversial question is: have you ever worked with R. Kelly?
Never. He hated me.
He hated you.
Hated me.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Anytime I came in a room, R. Kelly would never speak to me. Wouldn't speak. Yep. Yep. Would never speak to me. I can come in a room, somebody be like this Danny boy, and he'll walk by me, and he'll walk completely by me.
Why do you think that was?
You know, he don't like singers. He wasn't too partial with guys.
He wasn't too partial with guys. Oh, okay.
No.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about when you hear all of the stuff that's going on right now with him in it? What do you think?
Feel sad for him, man. You know what I mean? Such a great gift. Uh, this is such a great gift. So unfortunate. Um, you know, don't I could honestly I don't support the movement of I'm with him all the way, this and that, but that has nothing to do with his music. Uh, and I hope he get a fair chance, is what I could say.
Right.
I do hope he get a fair chance.
Right. Okay. Who else? What about Shauna? She's from Chicago. Kanye,
I met her a few times.
Chicago.
Never. Yeah, I'm waiting to work with Kanye.
Okay.
I can't wait. I hope to work with Kanye.
Okay. Is there anyone else in
As everybody
Chicago
do.
we forgot?
Crucial Conflict.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
How are
those
they?
they good. They were like family, man. We all were on the same label when we started. Incredible artist Jennifer Hudson. That's my homegirl.
Okay.
I hadn't seen her in a few years. I did a show back in the summer, and we had a chance to run back into each other. So that was pretty good.
Do you have any upcoming shows or plans for them? Because you know you have a lot of the older artists. They do these tours and stuff like that. Do you have any plans for that?
Yeah, they pop me in on those every now and then. I just did John B about a month ago in
Wow.
Detroit. John B and myself. I am doing. I'm always performing. Like I stay performing, but I'm also doing a show out in Arizona, March the 11th. It's a Harlem Nights
Okay.
celebration for a big promoter out here.
Okay.
But I'm always like doing the city shows in smaller venues by myself, as far as with my band.
Do you sell out? Do people come out?
Oh yeah, I got people that come to me. I do the live venues with my band.
Oh, you
You
have
know
a
what I mean? So
band. Okay.
I do. So for people that like band music, for sure, I'm always doing weddings or private events and different things like that. That's how I eat.
Right. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
good way because you definitely
Yes, sir.
have the gift. Hey, man.
Thank you, man.
Nah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It took a couple of days. You know, we've been going through the ups
Yes,
and
sir.
downs,
Yeah, man.
and you know, we went through the taping and all that. Listen, dog. Listen. This is on some real nigga shit right here. I'm going off the rails right now with saying what I'm gonna say to you. But I appreciate you, for revealing what you revealed. I appreciate you for being. You're gonna be my first TV show along with the rest of the panel. I think
Yes.
you delivered. And here's
Thank
what
you.
I'm gonna tell you. I respect you. Like, and let me just be. I'm gonna be 100% clear with you. Like, I am not a supporter of gay people. I'm not a hater of gay people. So what that
Mm.
means is, for me, let me be clear what that means. That means if you choose to do whatever you need to do, that's on you. You do that shit over there. That is not
Yep.
going to stop me from being a friend of yours or an associate of yours. But what you do is what you do. What I do is what I do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not running around holding
Yes,
no
sir.
flags, but I'm not
Yes,
trying
sir.
to beat you up or talk about you. Yo, that's what they do. It's just like Muslims and the Amish. They're Amish,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Muslim. So that don't mean I hate them. I'm just not Amish. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm just not doing that. But I
Yep.
could respect an Amish, and I can respect someone gay. I can respect someone Jewish standing in for what they believe in, because in today's world, most people don't stand up for what they believe in. And I could
They don't.
respect somebody coming out the closet. You understand? As opposed to
Yes, sir.
somebody being in it. If that's what you are, that's what you are.
There's a lot of people in there hiding, but thank you.
Yeah, and I respect
And
it. I salute it. So yo, listen,
I'm
Danny.
gonna tell you this, brother. I appreciate, excuse me, I appreciate you for the show that I look forward to seeing sitting on that panel. I appreciate you for this platform, and not only for that, those words that you said, man. That to me, that's the great line of maturity that a lot of our young brothers and people we just need to hear.
Yeah,
Just for myself, I appreciate that because I think I model myself as a great singer. I model myself as a great cook. And I
right,
think I have a couple of witnesses that I'm a great friend.
right,
No matter who I kiss or who I'm with,
right.
I'm Danny Boy Man, and that's just me. So I appreciate that. And I look forward to us, doing some more networking
Oh,
and working
without a
on things
doubt,
that we
man.
discuss.
We already got a plan for some stuff we ain't gonna reveal right now,
Yes,
but
sir. Yes, sir.
we gonna get it in. So
Okay.
until then, Mr. Danny Boy,
Yes, sir.
thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you. You're always welcome to come on my platform, and I look forward for us to continue to do some more work.
Thank you, brother. And if y'all want to hear more about that before I get there, go to Stranded on Death Row, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble.
There you go.
Thank
Say
you
it.
so much,
Say
brother.
it. Say it again so they'll know.
It's called Stranded on Death Row. It's available on Barnes and Noble. It's available on Amazon, and I'll be doing the audiobook real soon.
That's what's up. Thanks, Danny. Holla at you
Thank you, brother.
later.
I appreciate you. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
All right.
All right.